All right, let's just jump right in. If you've been paying even a little bit of attention to AI, you know the AI agent market is, well, it's just completely exploding. It's exciting for sure, but it's also chaotic and, let's be honest, pretty confusing. So today we're going to untangle all of that.
Just look at this number. Right now, there are over 200 companies. 200! All in a dead sprint to build the first truly autonomous AI agents. They're all trying to build a future where software actually works for you, instead of the other way around.
And what's truly wild is just how fast this is all happening. I mean, think about it. Just 6 months ago, this was a tiny little niche with maybe, 20 serious players? Today, it's a full-blown gold rush, with new companies popping up practically every single day. The pace is just insane.
So that brings us to the big question, right? The one you're probably asking yourself. In a market that's moving this fast, that's this crowded, how do you even begin to make sense of it? How do you figure out what's real and what's just hype?
Well, you start with a map, and this is the one you need. This isn't just some random collection of logos. This is a strategic framework. It's a way to actually understand the different layers of the market, see where the real value is being created, and spot the genuine opportunities.
So let's break this map down piece by piece. We're going to start at the very bottom with Layer 1. This is the foundation, the bedrock that everything else is built on top of.
We're talking about infrastructure. And the best way to think about these companies, they're selling the picks and shovels in this AI gold rush. They provide the development platforms, the models, the evaluation tools. Basically, if you're building an agent today, you are without a doubt using tools from this category.
And this layer is a whole world into itself, really. It covers everything from the core foundation models all the way to the specialized tools that help agents see, hear, and remember things. This is where that deep, fundamental innovation is really happening.
So who are we talking about here? Well, you've got the heavy hitters, the foundation model providers like OpenAI and Anthropic, of course. Then you have these absolutely critical development platforms, think LangChain and Llama Index. And in the voice category, which is growing like crazy, you have companies like ElevenLabs and DeepGram that can turn simple text into incredibly realistic speech.
All right, let's move up the stack. We've got our foundation, so what's being built on top of it? This is where we get into the agents that solve problems for pretty much every business on the planet.
This is Layer 2, what we call the horizontal solutions. These are agents built to handle universal business problems. And that's the key here. These aren't niche tools. They're going after massive, multi-billion-dollar markets that exist inside basically every large company out there.
And the problems they're solving are huge. We're talking about agents that can write and debug code, essentially acting as junior developers. Customer service, that's the classic use case with an incredibly high return on investment. Data analysis, it's like having Excel on steroids, where anyone can ask super complex questions in plain English. And for sales teams, these agents are becoming the most effective sales development reps you could ever hope to hire.
Okay, now we get to the very top of the stack. This is where things get really interesting, because this is where specialization is everything, and where those general-purpose tools just can't keep up.
Layer 3 is all about the specialists, the industry-specific or vertical agents. These are purpose-built for super complex fields like finance, law, and healthcare. And this is so important, because these industries have their own unique workflows, crazy regulations, and a mountain of specialized knowledge that a general AI model just doesn't get. That deep expertise, that's where the real value is hiding.
I mean, think about it. A legal AI agent from a company like Harvey, it understands the nuances of contract law in a way a generic chatbot couldn't even dream of. Or in healthcare, you've got agents from companies like Anterior navigating the absolute nightmare that is insurance prior authorizations. That deep industry knowledge is their competitive moat. It's what makes them indispensable.
So we've walked through all 3 layers. What happens when we take a step back and look at this whole map, at the entire landscape? Well, some really clear patterns start to jump out.
When you look at all these companies together, 6 key patterns emerge. You see that infrastructure is becoming a commodity, fast. The big horizontal categories are already seeing clear winners pull ahead. And the vertical agents, they're poised to capture a ton of value because that specialized knowledge creates much stickier products. But I want to zoom in on 2 of these patterns that are absolutely critical to understand right now.
Let's start with pattern number 4, because this one is huge. Voice is the killer interface. It really just comes down to human nature, you know? We would rather talk than type. It's faster, it's more natural, and the data is crystal clear.
any category that has a voice component is just plain growing faster. The takeaway is simple. If your agent doesn't have a voice, you're already behind. And that brings us to pattern 5. The future is not one agent, it's many. These single, do-it-all agents, they're hitting their limits. The real strategic move now is toward creating teams of specialized agents that work together on complex tasks. So you'd have a research agent that finds information, a writer agent that drafts a report, and an editor agent that polishes it, all collaborating. Think about it, right? A company doesn't have one employee who does everything. The future of AI isn't a single super agent, it's a skilled workforce of them.
Okay, so we've got the map, we see the patterns. What does this all actually mean for you? Let's make this super actionable, whether you're a builder in the space or an investor.
If you're building something, the message is crystal clear. Don't try to boil the ocean. Don't build another generic platform. Go narrow. Find one specific, painful problem in a single industry and become the absolute best in the world at solving it. And please, for your own sake, build a serious evaluation system from day one. It's the unglamorous work that separates the real companies from the science projects.
And if you're an investor, the strategy is pretty similar. The underlying tech is becoming table stakes. The real defensible advantage, the moat, is deep, deep domain knowledge. Bet on the teams that live and breathe the industry they're trying to change. Bet on those focused vertical solutions. And yeah, give extra points to any company that's building voice first.
So let's end with this thought. This whole market, it's not some far-off future. It's not hype. It's happening right now, today, and it's moving faster than any tech shift we've ever seen. Real businesses are being built, and real value is being created as we speak. So the only question left really is, are you building, or are you just watching from the sidelines?